On today's video, I am talking about letting go in order to manifest faster, and I'm going to share with you exactly how to do this so that you can stay connected and in alignment with what it is you are calling in. I'm going to be sharing some of my favorite tools that I learned while studying in India that have helped me not only decrease my stress and the level of desire or attachment to what it is that I want, but also what then allowed me to call in and start attracting all of those things that I desire. So it's going to help you do the exact same thing as well. So let's dive in. Hey, welcome back to another video. My name is Kara Michelle and I'm here to help you live your truth. And as we get into this video today, all about letting go and surrendering, because ultimately this is such an important thing to do, to understand and learn when you're wanting to manifest. And this is a huge place where a lot of people go wrong and get stuck. So I don't want that to be you. So make sure you stick around until the very end, because this video is going to help you so much. And I'm going to share some extra cool trainings and challenges for you as we dive in. So starting with the very first thing, and this was something I learned while I was studying in India back in 2015, I think, or 2016, and it helped me so much to gain control over my mind as well as my manifestation, because everything is just a reflection. We are conscious creators and we are creating our reality. So whatever you're thinking about, focusing on, and vibrating on in terms of your energy, that's what you're going to create in the world around you. So you want to have a really, really strong awareness and understanding and control over your thoughts in order to start attracting in the things that you really want. So the biggest thing I learned in India, or one of the biggest things, and this is a huge part of different mindfulness trainings, is that attachment equals suffering. And I want to dive into this specifically with law of attraction and manifestation, because when you are attaching to something, you're creating this huge energy of not having or fear of losing. So it's kind of like a desperate negative energy versus a really open, abundant, grateful energy, right? Now, say you desire more money, or say you desire a new job, or say you desire a soulmate, whatever it is that you're calling in. When you are attached to that, there's a really big desperation. It's like, oh my gosh, I want this so bad it hurts. It's like, I will do anything to have this, right? And let me know in the comments if you've ever felt that way before. And there's nothing wrong with it, but it's just helping you create the awareness that this is coming from a more desperate place. So your attachment is like, I like to look at it as like a little kid who's like clinging and trying to hold on to it so tightly because they don't want to let go, because there's fear of all of a sudden it's gone, or all of a sudden I'll be left alone, or all of a sudden, you know, these things aren't possible for me. So there's almost like a fear. There's a fear here when you're stuck in attachment, a fear of not being good enough, a fear of it not happening soon enough for you or quick enough, right? All these different fears, that are keeping you like attached to what it is you want. Now, when we connect to energy, when we connect to the quantum field, we realize that we are already attached to everything, because everything is energy. So you don't need to like attach and cling and desperately hold to your manifestation goal of calling in more money or calling in your soulmate, because on an energetic level, you already are connected to them, or to that which you want to call in. So one thing that helped me so much with earning more money, and let's use that as a specific example, is that for a long time I was clinging and attached to the fact that I needed more money, I wanted more money, right? And I was attached so much of like desperate, of like, oh my gosh, I never have enough, I just want more so that I can get by. And in this place, I was in debt, I was struggling so much, and I was living from fear of not having enough. And so I made more decisions from a place of fear and desperation and attachment. So I actually just dug myself even deeper in the hole until finally one day I was like, I can't do this anymore. I'm so exhausted, and my desperate attachment is not helping me. So I just fully surrendered. And I have another video, it looks like this, all about surrender and letting go, and why it's so incredibly powerful and freeing in your life. So I surrendered, and I was like, you know what? If it's meant to be, it's gonna happen. But I can't keep going at the rate I've been going. I can't keep being fearful or desperate or so attached, because it's literally causing me pain to be here. And so in this moment of surrender, I let go of the need to force, to cling, to make it happen. And I just trusted that it would happen. And I trusted that it was actually destined to happen because it was meant for me. This is a big mindset shift that can happen when you do let go, when you do surrender, because surrender is creating trust. And trust creates alignment. Because as long as you are clinging to something, you're living from the ego. And the ego likes to think that it knows what's best. So for me, in that example with money, my ego thought, oh, if I do these things, I will earn more. And I have to do this, I have to get that done, I have to hustle, I have to work on this. Oh, now I have this other thing on my to-do list. And I was constantly chasing and clinging and like desperate, that's the best word I can use, is that there was this major desperation of trying to make things happen a certain way, the way that my ego mind thought it had to happen in order for me to manifest or actually attract. Now, when I started to surrender is like just leaning back. It's kind of just like, you're just like, you know what? Of course it's here. Of course it's gonna happen. Of course it's gonna work. And it's gonna work whether or not I hustle and like, you know, crush all of these things on my to-do list, or if I just get 5 of them done, but from a good place, and I trust and believe that it's still gonna happen. It's still gonna come in for me. So trusting is such a beautiful thing because it brings you into alignment with your highest vibration, with your truest self. So comment that down below. Surrender brings me into alignment with my truest self, or with my highest vibration. Surrender brings me into alignment with my truest self, or my highest vibration. Because surrender connects you to the higher power, whether you believe in God, source, universe, whatever you want to call it, but it connects you into this place of the higher power who is here to support you. Every single one of us is divinely supported. But when we get in a state of fear or control or trying to make it happen the way we think it needs to happen, that is where we get into misalignment. And that's where we can end up clinging or forcing or making decisions that actually aren't for our highest good or don't actually benefit us in that moment. So taking that step back to let go, to lean back and trust, is actually going to allow your manifestation to happen so much faster, because you're finally going to just be in the state of receiving. So when you're in force, you're basically closed off. You're closed off to the infinite possibilities that can come your way. Now, when you're in flow, you're open. You're open. So things have room to come in, to make their way into your life. And that's why when you see people who are just like really at peace and in alignment and going with the flow, and it doesn't mean that they're not working at all, it doesn't mean that they're not taking any action, it just means that they're taking inspired action. So they're going with the current instead of going against it. And Abraham Hicks has such a beautiful quote that they talk about when they're saying, like, stop trying to paddle upstream. Just let yourself go downstream, follow the current, and then you're going to be in the flow, and then you're going to attract the things you're calling in. But if you're trying to paddle upstream, you're making it so much harder on yourself. And then it's going to be a challenge. It's going to take longer. It's going to have a lot of headaches and resistance, because you're not just following the easy flow of life. So we have been programmed through society, through mostly society. Let's just leave it at that. We've been programmed through society to think that you have to hustle and make things happen to get by. And so many of us are living out of alignment just from our true abundant nature because we think we have to do or be something different in order to have what we want. And you can have what you want by simply being who you are right now in this moment. But we just need to clear out the resistance, right? And we have to open ourselves up to let that come in. So the more open you are, the easier it is for the universe or God or source to bring you what it is that is meant to be there, what is for your highest alignment, your highest evolution. Now, before I get into this diagram, which I think is pretty beautiful, if you think it's beautiful compared to most of my drawings, right? So if you like this drawing, if you like this video so far, hit the thumbs up, please. Make sure you've subscribed and turned on the notifications as well so that you're always notified on my new videos when they're released. And now, before I get into these diagrams though, a really great place to start if you're wanting help with this is to sign up for my free 5-day Release to Thrive challenge that is linked down below in the description box and in the comments. And I'm going to help you with this process to clear out some of the resistance, some of the things that are no longer serving you in your life, and help you step into and align with your higher self, with that version of you who is easily just showing up and attracting all of these things. The version of you who already is living out the life that you're wanting to manifest right now. And this 5-day challenge is going to be so powerful in helping you shift because it's filled with videos, journal prompts, and daily meditations to help you really connect to who it is you're meant to be, to your highest power, to God, Source, Universe, so you can just be that magnet for miracles. So make sure you check out that link down below if you want help with this. Now, as we look at this beautiful diagram, here is another thing that can be caused when you are attached, right? When you're attached, you're creating the suffering, you're creating the fear, you're creating the desperation. I feel like that was the word of the video. I feel like I said it a lot of times. So now here is this diagram. Now here is another reason that attachment can cause a lot of problems when you're manifesting, and that's because when you're attached to something, when you really want something in your life, typically as human beings we end up putting it on a pedestal, and it's like we're putting it up here because we don't have it right now, right? There's a separation. We realize we don't have it, we really want it, but so we're putting it up here, we're idolizing it. To carry on with my example from earlier, there was a point where I finally realized that I was idolizing money. I had put money on this pedestal of like, you know, this is all that I need in order to be happy, and once I achieve this certain amount, I'll be great. And the more I put money up here, the more I stayed stuck down here, and actually the more fear I had, and the more negative decisions I made, the worse the investments were that I made in my business. And I actually, like I said, dug myself deeper and deeper into debt because I was putting money up here. I was creating this huge disconnect and separation between myself and money. Whereas when we look at it on the energetic level, as I said earlier, there is no difference, there is no separation. It is all just energy. So what you want to do is have yourself on an even line with money, yourself, your soulmate, yourself, that new job, and yourself, right? Here, you're thinking, oh, I'm down here, and what I want is way up here. It's way up here. It's so far away, but I want it so badly. What you want to do the right way, the way that's going to allow you to manifest really fast, is to realize that you are on an even line with what you want. There is no separation, there's no challenge, there's no once I do this, I can have that, or I have to reach and hustle and do all these things to get it. It's like, no, even line. We are all the same, we are all one, we are all connected. Everything is energy. And so if I just stay in the energy of that, I will have it. And it sounds so simple, and it really truly is. So comment that down below. As long as I stay on the energy of what I want, it's mine. I will have it. As long as I stay on the energy of what I want, it is mine. It is mine. There's no separation. So this is why you hear coaches talk about, you know, if you want to have 5K months, be in the energy of what that would feel like every single day. Show up as if you have it. How would you be thinking? How would you be acting? How would you be feeling? What kind of choices would you be making at that stage? The second you get in alignment and on that same line, that same vibration, you're going to notice that random things attract and manifest into your life to allow that to become your reality. I did this the first time I hit a 5K month, I did this the first time I hit a 10K, and I did this the first time I hit a 20K month, and it was all because of my energy. The external things really did not change that much at all. It was just my energy and my beliefs around what was possible, and I no longer put it on this pedestal that felt really hard to reach. It just became normal. It just became normal and easy. So you want to make it normal. Make your manifestation normal. Make your desires normal. You know, your desires are already here. Your desires are already here. And when you are in that place, when you know that they're already here, there is no choice but for it to vibrationally attract and show up in your field. Again, you don't need to know how, so don't worry about the how. Just know that when you're in that vibrational alignment and you're on that same level with it, it will show up somehow, as long as you're open to it. If you slip back into the attachment of like, oh, there's stress if it doesn't happen, or there's fear if it doesn't happen, well, now you're putting it on a pedestal and you're creating that disconnect again. So now you kind of self-sabotage and you might block it from showing up. And when that happens, you want to create that shift again of like, wait a minute, I am already here. I already have it. It's already mine. You know, get back into that alignment, get back into that place. And that's where that 5-day challenge that's linked down below will help you. And this is something a lot of people have come back to time and time again, and going through those meditations over and over again to keep getting into that alignment daily to allow you to stay in that place. So that is it for this video. I hope you really enjoyed it. If you have any questions or thoughts, please make sure to comment them down below. I always love connecting with all of you, and if you have questions, then that also gives me good ideas for future videos that I would love to create to help you manifest even faster. And yeah, if you found this helpful, please make sure to hit the thumbs up, subscribe, feel free to share with friends, and I will see you on the next video.